Victor Rallo Jr. for RalloWines.com, and I'm here with my friend Tony Verdoni, the Professor, and today we're going to discuss and talk about a very nice wine from Tuscany called Difese. It's actually from the Bulgari region of Tuscany, and it's another great wine, and Tony and I promise every single day that we do a review, it'll be an honest review of the wine. We'll have it for sale if we like it. If we don't like it, not for sale on our website. So stay tuned, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Difese.
Okay. I'll shoot.
Go ahead. Go.
This is actually one of my favorite wines. I had it in Italy many times. Couldn't find it in the United States. So I don't think it's a wine that is bountiful in the United States. This is the everyday wine of Sassicaia from Tenuta San Guido. And it's really too good to be an everyday kind of wine. But it sort of has an everyday kind of price when you look at the price of Sassicaia. Sassicaia is the Chateau Lafite of Italy. It's just spectacular wine, Cabernet from coastal Tuscany. So you get the maritime influence. This is mostly Cabernet Sauvignon, about 70%, but it's real Italian because it has that 30% Sangiovese. And you feel the fruit, you feel that maritime influence, because the oak that they use, the small oak, is not new oak. And the result is 2007 vintage. It's absolutely delicious. You can age this, but why? This is a wine I think you should enjoy now.
In fact, Tony, when I was at Sassicaia this summer with Sebastiano Rosa, the winemaker at Tenuta San Guido, he explained to me their theory for this wine. They have Sassicaia and its little brother Guidalberto, and if you look at the Bulgari DOC, it's a very tight area, and Sassicaia is Sassicaia DOC, and Tenuta San Guidalberto is Bulgari DOC, and they use some of the extra grapes from the Bulgari DOC, but they also have some vineyards that lie meters outside of the Bulgari DOC that they use in this wine. And instead of selling the grapes, they said, why not have an everyday wine that we could sell to the market? And in fact, you are correct, is most of this wine is sold in Italy, and very few people in the United States have it. And because of our relationship with Sebastiano Rosa and Co-Brand, the importer, we're able to buy this wine and sell it to our friends online.
It's a great find for people because it's just wonderful wine at a wonderful price. Difese in Italian means defense, but in the Tuscan dialect it stands for the tusks of a wild boar. In fact, the perfect food with this would be a wild boar ragu, or even just a good steak, because Tuscany is one of the only areas in Italy where you can find that bistecca fiorentina. It's a really good steak. But this is actually good wine to drink by itself even, because it's wonderful, but also it will make food come to life.
And I think I had the chef, he was cooking a little ragu of maiale, which is a pork ragu. He slow roasted it and pulled it off the bone. It's going to be very rich, and I think it's going to really bring out this wine to its fullest, because as with most Italian wines, they really go great with food, and they balance superbly when you put a plate of food in it. So why don't we go to the kitchen, we'll get chef to bring out a little plate of food, and we'll try the wine with some food.
I'm ready to eat and drink.
And me too, as always.
Okay.
Salute.
Salute.
Okay, we're back, and we have a delicious plate of food that the chef prepared. It's a ragu of maiale. It's a slow-pulled pork. It has some root vegetables, carrot, celery, and onion, slow-cooked. Really pulled it apart, and he served it with a little house-made baffaldini, which is a ruffled pasta. And you'll remember them as a kid when you saw your mom cooking lasagna. The ends are ruffled. So picture a pasta of about an inch wide with the ruffled edges on both sides. And I took the liberty of bringing a little pecorino in here and put a little fresh pecorino on the top of our pasta. And we're going to taste this pasta with the wine, because Italian food and wine really do go together. And I think especially with this wine, it's so well made. And Tony and I both reviewed this wine in the past, and we gave it very high reviews because it drinks so much better than its price. So it's one of those wines that you could bring anywhere, and you would have happy happy people at your house, or you would have a happy guest, or it would make a great gift.
This Pecorino is really Tuscan. It's very Tuscan. It's not the Parmigiano Reggiano. It's a little sweeter tasting. It's saltier tasting. It's a sheep cheese. And there's very good Pecorino made in the Pienza area, which is, again, it's not on the coast. It's farther inland, closer to Umbria. But the Pecorino Toscana is very good. It goes very well with the dish. Traditional pasta shape in the area might be pappardelle, which are like ribbons without these little reachy kinds of curls on the end, but very, very close to this. And this is typical kind of a ragu. They have a special breed of pig in the Siena area called Cinta Senese, which has, it has almost like a natural collar around its neck. It looks almost like a leash around its neck. It's really good. And so there's a lot of pork cooking in that area, as well as beans. So this is very good. You could also do a duck ragu, which is very traditional.
Wild boar.
Wild boar. And all of this would make the wine taste even better. And if we had some Tuscan bread with no salt in it, because the food is salty enough, that would be something sensational.
You know what I noticed about this wine too is because, as you said, that the oak is a second or third passage, which means that it's been used 2 or 3 times. So after Guidoberto and Sassicaia use the barrels, they go to Le Difese. The fruit is very abundant in this wine, and the oak doesn't overpower it. So we've said that you can age it, but it also makes drinkability today very plausible because it's not overpowered. It has great balance.
Yeah, and the Cabernet doesn't overtake the wine completely. This is very Italian, and 30% powerful coastal Sangiovese really makes the wine rich. You know, when you evaluate the color of a wine, you should look against a white background. And this is beautiful, purple to ruby color. No sign of aging at all. This is a wine that will hold up in the bottle for many more years, but it won't have a chance with me because I'm drinking it young.
Try that pasta.
Fruitiness is great.
Try that pasta. I think you'll find it's great. I put a couple of these puppies downstairs in my wine cellar. I'm going to try it. I'm going to drink. I put a case away, 12 bottles, and I'm going to drink one every year for the next 12 years. And if I find that I think it's reached its peak, I'm going to have a party and drink all of them at once. You know, so it'll be a perfect party time. If not, I'll have one a year for 12 years.
You have my cell phone number.
Absolutely, I keep that close. What do you think of that with the pasta?
It's a perfect match.
Yes,
very, very
absolutely delicious. So again, this is Tenuta San Guido Le Difese. It's a 2007 vintage. It's absolutely delicious. It's a hard-to-find wine. You won't find it many places in the United States. If you'd like to buy it, you can click on our website. It's very easy. We'll send it directly to you. And make sure you have a party and you give a little email back, hit our blog, and tell us what you thought and what you cooked with it, because we'd really be interested, you know, to learn what other people thought, because we think this wine is so good.
I'd be interested also, but save a 6-pack for me.
Cheers.
Salute.
Bon appetit.